Good day, guys. Welcome to Millionaire Minds. I'm Callum Lewis, and today we have a special guest like we always do. My boy, MFB.
Hi, guy.
Errin Simons.
Good to be here.
My boy. So, my brother, we had our first interview for season 1 before COVID. So, how's business been, man? We're seeing a lot of staples go out of business, like you said, off camera, like Leisure Time. I think A.S. Cooper for Mans is going out too. It's been a few companies that's been around since we were babies, going out of business. So how you holding up, family?
Well, you know, bro, just trucking along. You know, every day, kind of like comes with its own obstacles and things of that nature, but all in all, man, we guys are blessed. You know what I mean? I think that we attacked business from a different angle, I like to say, from the get-go. Something that's kind of unspoken in Bermuda that I found out through business is that a lot of businesses back, during those times, had business credit cards, or like basically like they used money from the banks or wherever, and then they bought the stock with that. Then they put their profit within the resale, and then they make the money back, they pay off the credit card, and then they keep going. With us, we never did that. Everything that I've ever done is from my own capital. So for me to close would be very difficult at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've never had to, I don't have to pay anybody back. So I think that we're definitely blasting that in that way. So, things are okay right now, man.
That's good, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, there's a lot of businesses that are, feeling the brunt right now. You know? COVID has put the pressure on a lot of avenues of money.
Yes.
And even as a country, we got to look for new opportunities to invest. A lot of companies is going out of business, you know what I mean, that we grew up seeing. And the country is at a place where we're almost at a crossroads, at a fork in the road. We need some new revenues to invest in as a country. As a businessman, as an entrepreneur, what ideas do you think that young people can invest in to make some capital during this particular time?
Well, first I think that it's easier said than done, because our generation was very lucky, but in some cases we were uneducated, and also we lacked foresight. So, for example, I mean, like, in order to gain capital, if you weren't born into money, you have to work. It's just simple as that. But now we're at a place where people are losing jobs that have had jobs forever. So it's like, now the real question is, how do you gain that capital to invest? Because to say, let's go invest, that's one thing, but you need the money, period. You feel what I'm saying? Banks ain't giving out loans like they used to, especially not for businesses. Banks barely want to give out loans for houses now. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the banks are in receivership of their own loans. So now we have to kind of get back to basics. So for me, I think the best thing to invest in, and investment doesn't always have to be financial. I think the thing that we should be investing in is, if you're lucky enough, which most of us, or a good percentage, I won't say most of us, but a good percentage of Bermudians that are in our age bracket, they have a homestead. You feel what I'm saying? They have their parents that have worked hard. Maybe there's a little bit of mortgage left on the house. Maybe it's paid off. But for me, the best thing to do would be to get dirty. Go around there, paint up the house, fix it up, raise the value of it. Go and start the garden. We have the Garden Gang Initiative, things of that nature. So those are investments. You don't have to necessarily have money in your pocket, but you can go out there and make it happen. And investment just means that you put something in so that you can later get something home. Simple as that.
For sure. I like the Garden Gang Initiative. For those who don't know about the Garden Gang Initiative, let the listening audience know, 'cause I think it's a genius plan.
So with the Garden Gang Initiative, we basically utilize small spaces. We realize that even though there are people that have homesteads, there are many of us that don't have homes and are not going to inherit land. So we have apartments, or we live with one another, But most places in Bermuda have a little small yard, a little patch of land outside of the house, even if it's a studio apartment. And we work with the landlords and the people that own the places to ask if we can then till the land, plant stuff, and then whatever comes of it, everyone can eat. So basically what that does is it cuts the biggest bill that you can have in Bermuda, literally in half, which is food. People talk about the cost of gas, people talk about health care, they talk about all this stuff, but food is the most expensive thing on this island. I don't care what nobody says. You go to the grocery store, you put $400 up and you got like groceries for like not even a week, bro. Not even. You feel what I'm saying? And that's ridiculous. So that's the things that we should be looking at. That's how you invest in yourself. You say, all right, I'm gonna go out there and get dirty, grow my own food. You know what I mean? No, I don't have to pay that much when I go to the grocery store, which means that I now have extra reserves in my extra funds in my reserve, which means that now I can invest in things to push myself forward. So it's definitely something that it's a discipline, for one, because it's not going to happen overnight. Food doesn't grow immediately, you know what I mean? But at the same time, everything is a lesson. Your first crop, you might not even get anything, but just because you run out there and put in the hard work, you're going to say, you know what, next time it's going to be better.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good strategy.
Yeah.